Colleagues, these are very difficult issues, and yet I'm thrilled for the debate. This is an era of the greatest American debates of a generation. What is the meaning of the Constitution? What is the role of the states within the federal system? You know, I've said that when my city formed in 2003, I received a note from Supreme Court Justice Kennedy on his private stationery just commending us for exploring the understanding of representative government and how it works. This issue of how our system of government works is something that every generation has to renew for itself. And I see in this debate this type of issue. So I actually feel that the greatest legacy of the era in which we live will be a deepened understanding for all Americans of what is the nature of our democracy and how does it work. On this particular issue, I'm reminded that things are difficult. We stand under the gaze of Abraham Lincoln, who during the Civil War, and himself a lawyer, knowing the limits of his authority as president to the areas of rebellion, nonetheless conjured up the great Emancipation Proclamation, doing this most unlawyer-like thing, asserting a power to come down the side of people that because of rebellion were not really in his area to declare them free. But he did that. He came down on the side of people, notwithstanding sort of a lot of dust in the air in that era. And that is relevant to me on this debate. Where do we in our age sort out what it means to come down on the sides of people? Here on this floor, I feel this is actually a conversation about the Founding Fathers and the extraordinary brilliance of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, that 10th Amendment to the Bill of Rights, the capstone of the Bill of Rights, that provided the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. It is the Founding Fathers who established this system that preserves independence of action to the states. It is the inherent foundation of our nation that the states are not required to be servile to the federal government, to do its bidding. This is a heritage of our constitutional system laid out by our Founding Fathers in the 10th Amendment. And then this brings me back to a conversation earlier this week of our oath of office. The oath we all take is not an oath of fealty, loyalty to any person. It is an oath of loyalty, of fidelity to the United States Constitution. And so I feel this debate, in which we are really debating the fundamentals of our system of government, the relationship of the state to the federal government, what is the freedom of movement, are we servile, are we compliant, do we have the ability to set our own rules? Confronted with hard questions, can we determine to come down on the side of people in a certain way, as the greatest of presidents did? So I admit this is a complicated issue, but this is actually a conversation you're hearing from me. I did this at a coffee in January when I was hearing from people on both sides. I sort of come down on the side of Abraham Lincoln. I come down on the side of the 10th Amendment. I come down on the side of gratitude for our Constitution, and such gratitude that we are able to have such a debate in this era. I urge and I vote.